Hello, welcome to this, my first vlog, an experimental video I'm making with a view to sharing some of the things I do in my workshop with you and to see if that's of interest. What we have here is a guitar I made for my nephew some years ago, and it's been played quite a lot and it's sustained some damage in a recent house move. As you can see, we've got some major distortion to the soundboard there, and it would appear that the X brace is either broken or has come away from the soundboard and from the linings in the top. I tend to make guitars quite light. I tend to make them quite simple. As you can see, there is only minimal binding on the front and no binding at all on the back. I'm hoping I can open the back and see what's been happening and not have to rebind it or anything. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just gently heat this scratch plate here and remove it, as well as take off the tension and remove the strings. I'll probably cut some of this because you don't really want to see me watch me doing all this. That's all the strings off. The shape has come back a little there, so yeah, I can feel that the X brace is broken away there, so it is quite lightly built. It may all just go back. Because of the damages over this scratch plate, as I said, I'm going to try and remove that. So I'm just going to soften the glue with the iron and see if it will peel off with minimal damage. I don't mind having to replace the scratch plate, but I don't want to damage the cedar if I can help it. Oh, I don't know if I wanted steam on there. I think I've pressed that by accident. No steam. A lot of glue on this stuff. It's a self-adhesive one, and it's again been on some years. I'm losing some wood fibres there, unfortunately. I guess it was inevitable. I remember when I put this on, because I'd done an oil finish on this guitar, this scratch plate didn't want to stick, and I had to put a second one, clean it and put a second one on. I was sort of hoping it would come on cleanly. You see, there's a little bit of wood fibre stuck there, but I don't think we're going to have too much trouble cleaning that up. I think there's no serious damage done. So going over to the other side, I'm going to put a bit of carpet on my bench here. As I said, you know, there's no binding on the back here. I'm hoping I can sort of just clean that bit out cleanly. What we do have though is separate heel cap and a strap button on there. So I'm going to take the strap button off. We'll probably sacrifice the heel cap maybe. going to use the same technique, a bit of brown paper on here. Partly because I don't want to scorch the wood at all, but I also don't want to get resins and stuff from the wood onto the iron, because I'll get into trouble if I do that. I'll warm this iron up just a wee bit actually. Let's see if I can just soften this glue and get it to break away. I'm just going to go around the edge because I don't want to loosen the back braces if I can help it. But they are let into the linings, and so it's going to be quite a strong glue joint while we get to those linings. Nothing like that. With all of these things, getting it started is the most difficult part, and that palette knife has now gone in. It must be beyond the linings now. I'm just going to gently work my way around. I will have to reheat it obviously. I've got maybe, 3 inches, 75mm clear there. The danger now is when I heat that, I could end up gluing it back down. Got to the end block, which means it's a much wider glue joint there. Put a bit more heat on that. See some moisture and coming out of the wood there. Or maybe it's out of the paper actually. Looks like the long joint is split here. Got a coming undone here. Be careful with that. think I'm getting beyond the end block now. Be a little bit easier until we get up to the first back brace. There. That's the first brace there. Starting to open now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use a clothes bag. I'm going to use it to make myself a couple of wedges to just hold this open a little. Come to the second back brace now. So that's been sort of awkward. Resin's coming out of the wood with the heat there. I'm certainly not cooking it, but it's just warm. So you're getting some resins from the wood. Some of that might be from the oil finish, but I think mainly it's from the rosewood. That's coming out onto the paper. That's why I'm using this brown paper and not putting the iron directly on the wood there. Even if this wasn't our domestic iron, it was one I used exclusively in my workshop, I wouldn't want rosewood resins on there if I was then going to use it on a pale wood, because it would obviously mark it and things. So it's always good to protect the iron in that way. And we've got another back brace there. We've got the cutaway, which has got some very tight shape in it, and of course the linings are very close to each other there, so it's a very strong glued area. So I've got glue sticking to my palette knife as well, which is making it a little bit more difficult to move around. I might have to take it out and clean it. Lots of glue on there. Years ago when I made this guitar, I did actually do a photograph blog and writing on my old website showing the stages of making the guitar. I'll see if I can find that and put it together with this, because it might be interesting. Nearly there on this side. Interesting to see how it goes around the heel cap. Let's have a look how much of a heel there is attached to the back, because I use the Spanish heel method, build on a border, so I can't remember how much of a heel there is under here supporting the back. Should be able to see or feel through the sound hole, so I'm going to do that now actually. Quite a heel. I'm right up to it there, I don't know if you can see. The palette knife is right up to the heel, so I've got to get a lot of heat onto that bit there to release this bit. I may as well go for it now, I think. I think it will make sense to remove the heel cap after all, because it's going to be, the glue is going to be heated and weakened now, so it really probably ought to come off and be either replaced, or if we can reuse it, fix it back. released from the heel now. I think they're almost completely. I think there's just a wee bit at this corner, which is probably easier to get from the other side. Well, I think I've got it all actually. The heel cap is still intact and still held on. I've lost a bit of veneer here, but I think I'm going to remove that afterwards anyway. So I'll work around the other side now. Interestingly, there's a bit of a release of tension here. So the sides have now released from the back and have moved a tad, which is only to be expected. This is changes in humidity and stuff since it was built. And so this is a good few years ago now. I can't remember exactly when I built it. I think it might have been 2015, 2016, something like that. So a good 6 or 7 years ago. I might have. I hope I put the date on the label. So I'll have a look at that in a moment. We're at the back brace there. I would normally turn the guitar around to do this other side, but that would put it over here and largely out of shot, so I'm making some compromises for the sake of the video. Also, because the back is radiused, the edges where we want the heat concentrated are a tad lower than the rest of it. So you can't sit the iron on flat, you have to tip it to get the heat into the edges, only slightly, but to accommodate the shape of the guitar. see the glue on the palette knife there. Some extra bracing and stuff around this preamp for the pickup. That's causing a few little issues. Not too bad. Incidentally, the glue that this was assembled with was Titebond Red Label. Other glues may not be as forgiving for this technique, but most aliphatic resins, PVAs, that sort of wood glues will respond to this method. Obviously, if I'd used an animal glue, it would be even easier to warm it and pop it off. If I'd used a polyurethane or epoxy based glue, that obviously would be much more difficult. We're right around the back now, so the back is actually loose from the linings and the sides of the guitar, or at least pretty much, and it's off the heel. There, right. What we don't know is how attached the back braces are to the linings, so I'm going to investigate that through the sound hole. There's something loose inside here which looks like a piece of the X brace, and the saddle has come off the bridge there. Yeah, the back braces are fairly firmly glued into the lining still, but I know where they are, so if we can apply a bit of heat to them directly, we can probably pop them off. Might even push them through from the sound hole side. Hope this is where it all goes crunch, and we've just got a pile of matchsticks. I just adjusted the temperature of my iron there. Stupid thing. Ah, there goes one. Oh, that went with a bit of a bang. That's made me jump, that. But I don't think there's any damage done. There we go. Back off, sort of in one piece. No serious damage, a little bit of lining still attached to the back. A little bit's broken off that back brace there. Other than that, no serious damage, I think. Yeah, so we can see now what's happened to this X brace. Hope you can see that. The X brace is split there, and there's a piece come out. I'll have to decide what I'm going to do there. So, yeah, we'll come back to that when I start doing some repairs.